he would need me. If you want to head upstairs, I can bring up a plate of food.
Thank you.
The dress is too small for you. Why didn't you wear the one I left out on your bed?
This was Susanna's favorite. I wore it for her. Is that for us?
I didn't know there was an us. I would have brought more cheese.
Belly, wait.
What do you want? Let go of me.
Whoa, wait.
Belly, that was just Aubrey.
Belly, this is what I've been talking to you about the entire season. The whole 3 episodes. 1000% understand why she got upset seeing that. Now was not the time to address it. His f***ing mother just died. Maybe wait a day or 2. Maybe not cause a scene at the funeral. This is what we've been waiting for. This is the problem. This is why she ruined.
She was helping me.
The funeral.
So you'll accept her help but not mine? Glad to know where I fall in the ranking of ex-girlfriends.
Grow up.
Go to hell.
I knew it was a bad idea starting something with you. It was a huge mistake.
I never want to see you again. Stop.
Oh,
I'll never let myself be affected
ouch.
by him
You
like
should
that
not have
again.
said that to her.
I can't.
I'm just as upset as you are about it.
That's such bullshit. That's such bullshit. You never cared about this house, Dad. You never cared about it because you never cared about Mom.
You get it, don't you?
I get that you're kind of an
I don't
asshole.
Get why we can't just use our trust to buy it, and then we can sell it later if we need the money.
You just make sure that Julia gets everything that she needs. You got it?
Conrad was right. Talking to you is pointless.
If he was a real father, he would understand how important
Surprise!
this is to them.
We're losing the house.
It's like the worst
Put it up
timing.
for sale.
Oh, Cinderbelly.
I brought you Blueberry.
Oh.
Glad you're here.
After everything the father has put them through, freaking what's the stupid name, Adam, he should be trying to actively help them keep this, knowing how important it is to his kids.
Sorry about this morning. Scared that you guys were gonna see me f everything up.
Hey, Julia was a stretch, but I really thought I could convince Dad. I just feel everyone's slipping away, and the house is the last thing tying us together.
We're not giving up. Figure something else out. Figuring out together.
I
Yeah?
love this.
Feel like us all hanging around the open house tomorrow, eating pains in the asses is a pretty good place to start.
I like that idea.
Sure, Aunt Julia would love that.
Tell him there's dead bodies in the basement. Jeremiah, you're good with some
Fuck some shit
fireworks.
up.
Set them off as people get out of the car.
Thank you, Belly.
Thank you. Exactly. You're really taking all these
Get off the couch. Just let
Oh
her
my
have
God!
it.
Fine.
God.
Sorry, Steve-O.
Maybe Julia was right. Susanna did believe Cousins was a fantasy world, but she made me believe too. It happened one night.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Throwback.
Right. Hey.
Have some food brought up to her. Yes, sir.
I'm not going to eat a thing. I'm already married to her.
What's that?
Live under the same roof with her. Now, I'll see to that.
Oh no. Oh no, panic attack. Oh god, oh god, oh no.
Conrad! What's going on, man?
No! Oh my god, these episodes are so good. Where is the pie recipe? Anybody knows how to get the pie recipe, please tell me in the comments. Alright, so we're definitely gonna pause it on this, right? It's too cute not to. Whew, alright, there you have it. Episode 3, Lovesick. So much to unpack here. Fantastic episode. Like, we are back, baby. We are back in the world of The Summer I Turned Pretty. We have so much happening. We have my favorite, Steven and Taylor, just showing up. They're just crashing. They're crashing the situation here. Steven lies and says that Conrad invited them, and they go, and I love this. I love this because I, at the beginning of the reaction, said, oh my god, Steven's gonna freak. He's gonna find out that the 3 of them are there, that he was left out of it. He's gonna freak. It's gonna be bad. But no, I should have more faith in Steven. He's like, let's just go. I also love the conversation that they had when they stopped to switch places for driving, because again, I thought Steven was gonna freak out and cry, and he's matured so much from season 1 into season 2. He just simply says to Taylor, like, does Belly really believe that? I don't care about Susanna. I don't think that Belly really believes it, but at the same time, I do think she thinks it's a little strange that he is not as sad as she is. And when I say as sad, you don't know how sad he is. That's the problem with Belly, is that she's looking at him thinking, you should be crying and failing like I am. You should be, failing at all your classes and being depressed and not smiling like I am. This is a really weird situation for Steven to be in. He got into Princeton. He graduated as valedictorian. All of these wonderful things are happening in this journey in his life, and he wants to be happy about them, but he can't fully because he is sad about Susanna. So I'm glad that Taylor and him had that conversation. She reassured him, like, no, that's not the case. People grieve in different ways. It's okay to be happy and sad. I can't wait for the conversation between him and Belly, because I really feel like it needs to happen. She needs to apologize to him, and he needs to apologize to her. And once that happens, they could hug it out, and it's great. But I do love all of these little moments of where it shows that he is a caring, consoling brother. He chases her outside at prom. He brings her a blueberry pie. He goes there in general because these are the three most important people to him in the whole world, aside from Taylor. And I think it speaks volumes for Steven's character. I just love that Taylor also went with him too. She's like, I'm going because Belly is her best friend. She is very important to her, but I also see something happening with her and Steven in the future, and I'm fine with losing Milo. That's okay. We have a lot of backstory in regards to what exactly happened with Belly and Conrad's relationship. And I talked a hell of a lot during the episode, so I don't feel like I need to say much more. But it makes such perfect sense as to why it ended. And I said this in the last season, this show does such a good job of making you flip-flop and be so neutral in these situations, because you understand why Belly's upset. Again, like Steven, she wants to go to prom. She wants to take pictures with her corsage. She wants to go to the after party and have fun with her friends and laugh because this situation sucks. But it sucks more for Conrad, whose mother is dying. Like, Susanna was like a mother to her. This is his mother. And so you can't expect him to go to parties and smile and be happy and pretend like this isn't happening. Some people just grieve and process things differently, and this is how he's doing that. Is it healthy to completely push everybody away, though? No. And that's the problem with Conrad's reaction, is it's not that he's upset and doesn't want to be there. He literally leaves and removes himself from the situation in the worst way possible. It's not, Belly, I can't do this, I'm sorry, I'll suffer through it if you want me to, or not, Belly, I can't agree to doing that. It's he tries and tries, and then he runs because he freaks out and he can't do it. And it's very frustrating, again, on both sides. Like, I get Belly's side of it, but I also get Conrad's side of it. And I feel like I kind of side with Conrad a little bit more so, because maybe it's because I've experienced something similar to that, so I kind of understand how he's feeling. But does he need to be more considerate, or should he have rather been more considerate of Belly's emotions and feelings? Yes. It's just really, really hard to do that when you're experiencing a life-altering situation like he is. We meet Aunt Julia, which is very interesting. We meet Aunt Julia and Sky, the cousin. Now, we've never met these people before, and we know that Aunt Julia is the half-sister who did not show up to the funeral, who hasn't been to the house since she was 7, I think they said. And the way that Aunt Julia responds to why she wasn't at the funeral is very interesting, which makes me feel like there is a deeper meaning. It's not just that she didn't want to go. The way that she says to Sky, oh, did you finish the virtual tour, this and that, blah, blah, blah. The way that they're communicating makes me feel like something's going on that we don't know about. Maybe she needs the money for the house for some reason. But I'm sure we're going to find out more about that in the next episode that I cannot freaking wait for. We're having an open house. I never thought I'd say that. I can't wait for the open house. Like, I don't want the open house, but now that I know they're going to screw with the open house, I'm all here for it. And I want to learn more about Sky and Aunt Julia. The conversation that we have with Adam is infuriating because Adam is an asshole. I think we can all agree on that, right? In the last season, we find out that not only did he cheat on Susanna during her treatments, but the way that he kind of piled on and treated Conrad and favored Jeremiah and almost like pitted them against each other, in my opinion, to a certain extent, of like, you should be more like your brother and this and that, blah blah blah, is just disgusting. And it's a horrible thing for a parent to do. He's a bad person. I don't like Adam. I hate Adam. And so for his two children, his two sons, who just lost their mother and already don't have the most wonderful experience or relationship, I should say, with him, call you and say that this is like, they don't even have to call. That's the thing. They do, but they don't have to call and tell him how much this house means to them and how important it is. But they do. They call him and explain how important this house is, how much they wanted to keep it in their lives, the attachment that they have with it in regards to their mother who they just lost. This isn't an emotional reaction. Like, it is, but it's not like, oh my God, I need to keep the house because Susanna's gone. This house has been in their family for decades upon decades. This house is Susanna. So you're asking them to just let it go? You can't do that. That's terrible. Like, at least try. At least meet them halfway. At least be like, you know what? These are your trust funds and this is for your future, and I'm not going to allow you to take all of that money and put it towards this, but I'll let you take half. Or I'll let you take a third. And then if you guys can figure out the rest, you can figure out the rest. Try to understand what they're feeling and how they're feeling and how important this house is. It reminds me of The Kissing Booth, right? The Kissing Booth, the third movie. It's almost the same situation where it's like they're getting rid of the beach house and it's so sad because there's all these memories attached to it. But this is a completely different situation. In The Kissing Booth, they're getting rid of the beach house because all the kids grew up and they're moving on with their lives and they're selling the beach house. This is like their mother's favorite thing in the whole world. The attachments and the memories and the joy that comes from this is irreplaceable. You cannot replace this. You cannot get that feeling anywhere else but this house. She's gone, but like Belly said, she's everywhere and nowhere all at once. You can't do that to these kids. It makes me feel so terrible. The fact that Adam doesn't understand that and he's just like, well, guys, you know what? It is what it is. Aunt Julia's selling it. Just makes me hate him even more. The funeral. Oh my God, the funeral. I need a second. We finally find out what happens at the funeral, and I love them for telling us because I thought they were going to make us wait a while. I was like, we're not going to find out what happens at the funeral for like episodes upon episodes. So Bella, are we in Twilight? Belly and Conrad break up at the prom because he is walking out on her and she's like, you know what? If you're going to do that, then you're going to do it in the future again. Let's just end it. Say what you feel. We go to the funeral. Conrad's singing his song very poorly, I may add. And it's not because he's upset and crying. Like, he's a bad singer, but that's not the point. Anyway, he's singing a song, which I think is really sweet, which is also an amazing song, and it is really sad, so it's so appropriate. He sees Belly. He starts getting even more choked up. She's making them plates of food. We bring one up to Conrad, and he has his head on Aubrey's lap. Now, Aubrey, I honestly forgot until she said, oh, I didn't meet the list of ex-girlfriends or the cut of ex-girlfriends or whatever it was. I forgot that was his ex-girlfriend, but we did see her in season 1. He has his head on Aubrey's lap. Now, if I put myself in her shoes, I would 100% understand that is a startling thing to walk into. And it's very upsetting because if we broke up during prom, that had to have been June, right? I'm not sure exactly how long after that when Susanna died, but it couldn't have been very long, right? Months, maybe. So the breakup and the emotions and the sadness are still fresh. It's still alive and hurtful for both of you. But to see your ex-boyfriend, who is the love of your life, with his head on the lap of his ex-girlfriend, yes, it is very, very upsetting. For her to have treated the situation the way she did is extremely inconsiderate. And now I will say, she does acknowledge this, right? Because what does she keep saying through the past episodes? I ruined the funeral because of what I did at the funeral. I ruined the funeral. She said that multiple times. So she does take responsibility for acting poorly. So I'll give her credit for that, because usually we have Belly just making decisions and running around doing things, and she's just like, I don't understand. This is she gets it. She's like, I take responsibility. I ruined the funeral. Did she ruin the funeral? No. But did she cause a scene which she shouldn't have? Yes. So at least she acknowledges that and takes responsibility for it. But that's sad. I get why she reacted the way she did. Now, with that said, Conrad says, grow up. She says, I hate you. And now this is where I disagree with Conrad and think that he should not have said that. Conrad, you should grow up. He says, I knew this was a mistake. I should have never started anything with you. You just called your whole relationship a mistake? And she says, I hate you. I never want to see you again. He says, good. I think that this stems a lot deeper than him just being upset because his mother died and acting irrationally and emotionally. I think him looking at Belly makes him think of his mom. Because he said, I think it was in the last episode, my mom is so happy that you're my girlfriend. We have Susanna in the first episode say, you're my special girl. I knew you were always destined for one of my boys. So I think that when he's playing the guitar and he looks at Belly and he gets choked up, every time he sees Belly, he sees Susanna, and it's heartbreaking for him. So when he says to her, this was a mistake, and he says to her, good, you never want to see me again, good, he's saying it because he is so emotionally connected to her through his mother that he can't bear to be around her and he can't bear to see her. I don't think it's that he really believes that their relationship was a mistake and that he really feels like he never wants to see her again. And I think that's something that Belly hasn't quite understood yet. It was just so sad when she tries to run away and then she falls, and her mother's saying, that dress is too tight, why'd you wear that? And she says, well, I wore it for Susanna because it was her favorite. That broke my heart. And then it almost made me feel like she bumped into him and the dress was so tight on her legs that it made her fall a little, because she kind of flattens it out and looks at her mother, and her mother's disappointed because it's her best friend's funeral and her daughter just caused a scene and she ran out, and now she's alone and she doesn't know what to do and she doesn't know how to process things. So it's starting to make a little more sense now as to why Belly spiraled in regards to her volleyball tournament, in regards to her grades at school, in regards to cutting off communication with most of her friends and just being alone and being sad. She feels like every time she involves herself into situations with people, it blows up in her face and she ruins it. This whole situation is just so sad. It's so heartbreaking. But to see them all here smile, like, look at it, they're all smiling. I love it. They're all smiling. They're all happy. They're in the home. They're hanging out. They're experiencing good things, good vibes, good moods. This is wonderful. But then, last but not least, we have Conrad getting a text message. We don't know what the text message says. We don't know who it's from. All we know is that he sees it, he runs outside, and he starts having a panic attack. And now we have Steven, very observant, by the way. He did it for Belly, now he did it for Conrad, runs after him and says, what's going on, what's wrong? And then the episode cuts because we have the greatest freaking cliffhangers in the world for this show. I want to know what you think in the comments. Who do you think the text is from, and what do you think it says? And now I'm going to say, book readers, do not say anything. Book readers, you know information that we do not. I did not read any of the books. I was going to read the first one after the first season, and then I was like, you know what? I don't know if that's gonna skew things in the second one. Like, I don't know how much is involved or what they're gonna cover, so I think I'm gonna wait and see how much of the books are covered for this one, and then I'll read the first one after the second season. But yeah, book readers, if you know the answer to that, do not spoil it. No spoilers, please. But I want to know from people who don't know the answer. Who do you think texted him? What do you think it said? I don't know. I don't know what it could be. At first I thought they were showing the flashback of Cleveland with Conrad from last season because we were going to see Cleveland, but now I know it was to show that he had that panic attack and that it came back. What would have triggered the panic attack? I think the only thing could have been, at first I was like, oh my God, is it Aubrey? But I don't think Aubrey would have triggered a panic attack. I think that, I mean, I don't know. It could have been, I'm saying a text message. It could have been a notification for an email. Maybe he's getting kicked out of school, but I don't think he would be getting kicked out of school because he didn't miss that many days. What could it be? Only thing that I could think of that would actually trigger like that quickly and that severely of a panic attack is maybe it's something along the lines of what Susanna did for Steven in regards to sending the package for his graduation. Maybe it was something like that. Like maybe it was like a reminder that he had on his phone for something involving Susanna that he forgot he had. I don't know. Oh, overall, that was a fantastic episode. That was so good. Oh, there was something else I wanted to say. I know I said so much, but I can't. There's something else I wanted to say, and I just completely left my head. Oh, I honestly feel, as I said in the reaction, that Susanna is too smart for what is happening right now. So I think we're gonna end up finding out like this was all part of her plan, right? To have Aunt Julia come and be a part of the family and find love through these people that she was missing or something. I feel like we're gonna get like a note or a message or something from Susanna that's like, haha, I tricked y'all. Like, because I don't think that she would let this house be given to somebody who would just sell it so quickly like that. There's got to be some underlying plan here. I know it. I feel it. I sense it. It's so Susanna, right? So I don't know what that could be, but I'm excited to find out. I'm excited for the next episode. So we got 3 episodes this week. Now I think next week we're just going to get one. Oh, I thought we were getting 10 episodes. We're getting 8 episodes. Well, that's okay. We get 1 extra episode. That's cool. Love Game is the next one. Oh, I'm so excited for this next episode. So far, so good. This season has been fantastic. I have that feel back, and maybe it's because we're in Cousins again. I don't know, but I love it. I'm here for it. I'm excited. And until the next reaction, so long, everyone. Try and make someone smile today. You never know when they might need it next. Bye.